Sometimes the people we laugh at are the very ones who could teach us lessons we never expected. In a crowded martial arts gym, filled with young fighters and loud chatter, a young black belt thought it would be funny to challenge an old veteran, a man with silver hair and a limp in his step. Nobody took the veteran seriously. He was just there to watch, right? But what happened when that challenge turned into a real fight stunned everyone. It wasn't just about punches and kicks. It became a story about respect, hidden strength, and a reminder that true warriors never fade away. Stay with me till the very end, because the twist in this story will leave you speechless. The martial arts gym was buzzing with energy that afternoon. Students were sparring in different corners, bags were thudding under the weight of kicks, and the smell of sweat mixed with determination hung in the air. Among the younger crowd stood Alex, a 22-year-old black belt with a reputation for his speed and confidence. He loved being the center of attention, and his friends often cheered him on whenever he sparred. Alex wasn't a bad kid. He was talented and hardworking, but he also carried a streak of arrogance, one that made him underestimate anyone who didn't look as sharp or fast as him. That day, an older man named Mr. Grant walked in. He wore a simple jacket and carried himself with quiet dignity. His gray hair and the cane he leaned on made him look out of place in a room full of fighters. Some of the younger students whispered among themselves, wondering what an old man was doing in their gym. The truth was, Mr. Grant was a retired veteran who had served decades in the army. He had seen wars, endured pain, and survived battles most people couldn't imagine. But none of that was obvious from his appearance. He looked like any ordinary elderly man who might be better suited sitting in a park than standing in a fighting arena. When Alex noticed him, he smirked. "Hey guys, look at this," he called out loud enough for everyone to hear. "Maybe the old man wants to learn how to fight." Laughter rippled through the room. Mr. Grant didn't react. He simply adjusted his cane and looked around quietly, his expression unreadable. Alex's friends encouraged him, and in his playful arrogance, Alex bowed mockingly toward Mr. Grant. "What do you say, sir? Want to have a little spar? Don't worry, I'll go easy on you." At first, everyone thought it was just a joke. The coach even frowned and started to intervene, but to everyone's surprise, Mr. Grant lifted his head and spoke in a calm, steady voice. "If you really want me to, son, I'll accept your challenge, but I don't fight for fun, I fight to teach lessons." His tone carried no anger, no pride, just quiet conviction. The gym went silent. For the first time, Alex wasn't sure how to respond. But with so many eyes on him, his ego wouldn't let him back down. The sparring match was set. People gathered around in a circle, phones ready to record. Some whispered that Alex would embarrass the veteran within seconds. Others, though, felt something unusual in the air. Mr. Grant might have been old, but there was a fire in his eyes that didn't belong to someone who was weak. The bell rang, and Alex immediately launched forward, throwing light jabs to test the waters. He was fast, precise, and confident. Mr. Grant didn't move much. He simply shifted his stance slightly, his cane set aside, and his posture lowering into something more familiar than anyone expected. His body, though older, carried a memory of discipline, of training that had once been second nature. Alex tried a quick kick, aiming for Mr. Grant's midsection, but in a blink, the old man stepped aside, redirecting the force with a subtle movement that sent Alex stumbling off balance. Gasps erupted from the crowd. They hadn't even seen what happened, it was that smooth. Alex recovered quickly, embarrassed, and came back with more aggression. This time he threw a flurry of punches, determined to show off his skills. But again, Mr. Grant's calm defense absorbed every move. He didn't waste energy, he didn't flinch. He moved like water, flowing around Alex's attacks and waiting for the right moment. Then it happened. Alex threw a wild hook, leaving himself wide open. With lightning speed, Mr. Grant stepped in, tapped Alex's wrist, and in one swift motion had him on the ground. No force, no brutality, just pure technique. The gym exploded in shock. The young black belt, known for his dominance, was staring up at the ceiling while the old veteran stood above him, breathing steady and calm. Alex scrambled up, frustrated, but there was no anger in Mr. Grant's eyes, only patience. "You're fast, son," the veteran said softly, "but speed without wisdom is just noise. In real battles, hesitation, pride, and arrogance get you killed. A warrior's strength isn't in his muscles. It's in his mind, his discipline, and his respect for others." The silence that followed was heavier than any applause. Even Alex's friends were speechless. Something about Mr. Grant's words carried a weight that no medal or belt could match. For the first time, Alex bowed his head, not as a joke, but with genuine humility. "I'm sorry, sir," he whispered. Mr. Grant placed a hand on his shoulder. "Don't be sorry, learn. That's why I stepped into this circle, not to defeat you, but to remind you what real strength is." From that day on, Alex trained differently. He no longer sought attention or applause. He became quieter, more focused, and deeply respectful of those who had walked paths harder than his own. And every student in that gym carried the memory of the day when an old veteran taught them all that true warriors never fade.